Hey everybody, it's Lewis Porter Jr. It is July the 12th. Yes, it is. Tuesday, July the 12th. With another lovely episode of Transparency Agenda. Let's see, what first thing, well, before we even get started with the show and everything, getting crazy and stuff like that, let's talk about some stuff going on. One of the biggest things that just happened, check this off, it's driving me crazy. And the coolest things that happened is actually on YouTube. That show that I really really enjoyed is now back on YouTube. I think it's a very cool show. I think a lot of people would definitely like seeing it. It is the infamous and well known I Hit It With My Axe. You can find it actually at Satine Phoenix's YouTube channel. I'll put a link. I'll put a link at the bottom of the description on YouTube. So just follow this to YouTube. You'll see it there. It was kind of a catch-up episode, this first one, which I thought was kind of interesting. It was kind of funny, but this gives people, if you haven't watched it before, you don't know what's involved, it's a great way to catch up and see what's going on. A lot of people may or may not know that I used that show's inspiration for me to finally do Transparency Agenda on a more regular basis, and now, 4 times a week. So it just kind of it's kind of been very inspiring to me. So I said, hey, you might want to check it out. You might find it interesting. I always thought it was a great way to combine, you know, I mean, really gaming, girls, having fun. I mean, that was kind of an easy win, and should have been, just like I said, it's so smart and simple. It's easy. Everybody should have been doing this a long time ago. Just brilliant, brilliant. But I thought it was. I thought it was an awesome show. I liked watching it. I wanted to see more of it. I'm glad they brought it back. I'm glad they're doing it themselves. As always, I'm very big about doing things yourselves and not having to always, do somebody else's work. And they might have been getting paid better, but when it's your content, it's your content. You built it, so that's the important thing. So I mean, that at least to me, that's my feeling of it. I think it's better when you get to build it and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I guess that's a good way to call it. All right. So tonight we are continuing, I guess, what we talked about last night. Um, I keep saying I'm gonna do this all this week. I don't know if I'm gonna do it all this week, but definitely, art direction and understanding art direction. So I want to show you some more books that I happen to find that I also missed from last night. When you go to my bookshelves, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot this, I forgot this. So I want to show you that. Plus tonight we're gonna talk about graphic design and how that is similar to making art, but not really the same thing. And why is it different? And understanding how different it is. And even though you're not an artist, it's something that you can still excel at. I know for sure. And you don't have to be an artist. So continuing from last night, I found this book of Soul Caliber, and this one really is. It's actually a hint guide. I saw this hint guide when I saw it. I was like, oh, I gotta buy it. It was some ridiculous price. It was like $10 or something silly. I got it from good lord, GameStop, and I saw it. I thought it was just very very cool. And then when I looked inside of it, once again, awesome artwork, and then just on top of that, do that, awesome layout work with awesome artwork. Just it's just a book I bought. I mean, really, I love Soul Calibur. It's one of my favorite fighting games. But I bought this thing with the main purpose and the main focus of just something cool to look at style wise. I mean, dude, look at that page opening. Look at that page opening. Boom, huge picture. Boom, great graphic design. I mean, that's what it should be. It should be like awesome, just looking even even columns. This is something that people drive crazy. I'm an old school guy, so I still use old school columns with tabs. Some people do the actual, I guess the cells they do now. So I barely use them because I'm an old school guy and old school stuff. And this book is just chock full of just cool stuff. I don't even know if you can find it anymore. Whew. It's an old book. It's an old book, relatively old. Soul Calibur 5 from Future Press. I don't think it has a price on it. I've bought it for $10. Where's this one? Was this published by my guys? No, this actually was published in Germany. A lot of these books are done by Macmillan Publishing. Macmillan Publishing, I used to work for them when I was living in Indianapolis. They did a lot of the books. One of the guys who used to do them used to work with me, Will Cruz, did a lot of the graphic design on their books. I think he's still doing them today. I always thought it was kind of impressive that he's doing that. I was just like, wow, why would he still be doing it, nearly 20 years later, but that's what he loved to do. Another book I picked up, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. A simple white book, boom. Not one piece of color, black and white. Another skill. A lot of people just don't understand. With black and white, you can do some really just cool artistic visuals to it. Um, and of course, there's color in the book, of course. But black and white, doing black and white artwork is a skill in itself. With this, also just showing you great graphic design. Pictured down the center, and it's even off-centered. There's just a lot of just cool things you can think about. Cool little elements that you can add to it. See, even that, like, even on the side. It's just, there's so many cool ideas graphically that you can do stuff. Yeah. See, it's really got a little light above me that really works, so I don't have to keep pushing my computer when I do that. But lots of just cool stuff to look at. This one is another one I got somewhere. Whenever you're in Borders, okay, that's Borders. That's how long it's been. When do I play? Yeah, I don't play as much as I used to. I do more work. Christopher taught asked me if I play tables. I wish I played more. I don't like that. I just don't have time. Being a single parent and being a publisher, and my time is extremely limited. But yeah, I don't get to play as much. I'm very much a publisher. I'm very much in the publishing venue scene. Also, they have a cool little thing to pull out in there. So yeah, so if you find any art book, any can't call them campaign books, any video game books, check them out. They have lots of cool stuff to get you inspired by. Just a lot of cool stuff. I mean, here's a great picture. Look at page. Look at that. Just tons of cool character designs, ideas. You have in your library. And finally, on the whole art side, Hi-Fi's Color for Comics. I've had this one a while. They had another book. I can't even find it here anymore. They had a smaller guide that I saw once that I bought, and then they had this one. This is about understanding how to color for comic books, and it is a subgenre in comic book creating, but it's something that's actually incredibly important. I didn't realize the effect on color on things until I really started looking at graphic design and looking at comic books, because it's amazing how color can add or deflate a comic. And this is just a great book. Hi-Fi Color. Hi-Fi is out of, I keep thinking Phoenix. Is Hi-Fi out of Phoenix? I can't remember. It might be Phoenix. I might be right. I might be wrong. Well, Brian Miller, who's like one of the main writers, and his wife, Christy, are professional comic book colorists. And they do incredible work. They work Hi-Fi Color. They've worked for every major company that I can think of, from Marvel, DC, Dark Horse. I mean, everybody. They've done, the big names and some smaller names. And this book will give you everything you need to understand if you want to understand how color works. Color theory is a whole section of graphic design that, I know about it. I know a little bit. I didn't take a class on it. I always will go back and wish I should have and would like to one day. But it's just amazing just how much information can be conveyed by color. It's just a great little piece. Something you pick up. This one, $24.99. Of course, I bought this on Amazon, so it's cheaper than that. But it's something you might want to check out if you're interested. If you're interested. All right, so tonight we're going to talk about graphic design, and I know this because, like I told you, I'm self-taught. But I'm going to give you here's 3 really great books that you can have. I'm going to go maybe give you the first one first. I saw this book years ago at a what was I working? I was working at Attic Books. Was this at Attic Books or was it after Attic Books? No, I think this might have been after Attic Books. I worked at Attic Books back between 1992 through 1993, and that was my first big job out of college. Attic Book was the same guys to make Comics Values Monthly, CVM, if you remember from back in the day. So I was fascinated by black and white artwork back then, because back then that's all we had a lot of it was black and white. So it's just like, okay, and that was just what it was. Yeah, that's just what it was. So I found this book, but I could never get color combinations right. I never thought I got them right. I never thought I understood them very well. And a buddy of mine, Jeff Juilliard. Jeff Juilliard is also the guy who also instructed me to becoming a graphic designer. Jeff was a professional graphic designer when I knew him, 20 some odd years ago. I think Jeff's like 5 years older than me, 3, 4, 5 years older than me. And I know he went to school. He was an art director back then when I knew him. Back in '93, and he had his own studio. Yeah, he had his own studio in '93. Yeah. By then he had his own studio. He had his own company, and I know he does it professionally still today. I mean, he does like more web stuff than print, but he's the guy who got me started in it for me. So if you ever wondered, so this book right here, it's a great book. It is an awesome, awesome book about color combinations, and what makes it really awesome, it's not only just informative. If you see it right here, the pictures right here, it's correlating to the colors here, and they broke them down. Now that's kind of cool. What makes this book so awesomely cool, that I just think is brilliant, is it goes decade by decade for design. For example, and it gives you, which is like the brainiest thing, the color combinations of the colors used above. So if you're into, this is 1900s, this is Victorian era color. You know, how the design would look, how the stuff would look, what would the design be combined with, and that's Victorian era. Let's go to Art Deco. How the design would look, how the color looks. And all the information's right there for you. And it keeps going throughout the years. More Art Deco. A generic design that they'd use back then and how it would look, and, Atomic Age. And they do it for each one. I just think, like I said, this is a brilliant book. Far out 60s. If you don't understand how color works and you're not really, good at matching up colors, this book is amazing. Current color, modern design, as they would say. Yeah. And I think this book is amazing for that. It's just a smart and then current, which, the rules are, there are no rules, but there's rules, so. This is just some fabulous stuff to read and get interested in. And if even better, if you have limited color, they break it down for that kind of stuff. Boom. Because, graphic design isn't about... graphic design is about putting things in order that look visually appealing to people. See? And like I said, these books have tons of stuff. And they even did this, which I thought was great, but bad color combinations that you could still do with designs. I mean, this book is chock full of really great color combinations, really great ideas, just really great design ideas. Here's one, like rave color. If you're going to do rave flyers, color combinations you can use, design elements you can use. Actually, just a smart book, just a 100% smart book. This one is $27.99. I don't even know if that's the price anymore. And tell you the truth, I don't even know if this book is actually even in stock anymore. So, if you see it, go look for it online. It's a great book. If you don't know anything about color and you want to learn more design color, this is the book you need to get. You need to read this book, look over it, understand it. This will make leaps and bounds what you've done. A lot of the stuff also that's incorporated here, you can also find in Adobe's Illustrator. They have a couple tools that let you pick out colors based on one premier color. But before, back in the olden days when you didn't have that, you had to find something like this to figure out what colors would work well together. That's the other one. It's Robin Williams Design. Where's my other one? Did I forget it? The non-designer's book. Oh, where is it now? This is a problem. You have so many books on your bookshelf, you lose books. This is one of the books I wanted to show you, but this is the one I really wanted to show you. Robin Williams Design Workshop. Robin Williams has a book called the Graphic Designer's Design Book. Part of that is in this. I suggest you also get that too. But check this one out. This book is a great book. It is only about $39.99, $40. This also is another great graphic design book, just discussing how to be a better designer. Well, this is a great example. Black and white, and showing the difference just with one color, two color, three color, same same page, different output. You know, that's kind of a great thing. Got me to understand, you know, little differences. Size, how size affects design. You know, it's just, for me, when it comes down to graphic design, it comes down to definitely three things: size, shape, color, and that really kind of redefine what you're doing and give you everybody a different kind of appearance. Actually, yeah. Let me show you these two ads. See this first ad. That's the kind of ad I'd expect the first time designer doesn't really know much, doesn't know what to expect. This side is the updated version of that ad. See the difference? See the little differences, but it's, you know, not a bad ad, just not a good ad. You can't figure out what doesn't make this good. You see this one, you know it's a good ad. You know, simply size, shape, color. Those are the little things that affect making good design. Yeah, let me give you this one. This is like 4 different designs you can check out at the same time. See, like here's the original one, and this is going through. You can see the differences. Let's show you the original one. Yeah. And it's amazing, you know, how things like color affect stuff. I mean, you know, and this is just black and white. This isn't even like color. It's black and white. It's just, you know, just read another one. Here's some ads. Different fonts affect stuff, give you a different look, a different feel. You know, this is just some awesome stuff to take a look at. Yeah, this book has a lot of good starting points for you as. Actually, let me show you some different designs of the same thing. This will get you started. And that's really it. You keep trying visual things that look appealing. You go back and forth and this and that. You try stuff out. That's 90% of what's going on here. And they have some web stuff too, but this is like some old web stuff, so I don't think I would trust the old stuff here. But this book is definitely a great starting point. This will get you moving along. Like I said, this book was nearly $40. This is an old book too. I don't even know how old this one. I've had this for a while. I'm guessing. Let's see, what's the trademark on this? Whoa! I didn't know the book was this old. This book was made in 2001. That explains the web design part too. Like, you know, 2001, good book. Robin Williams, not the actor, but the graphic designer. You can find a lot of their stuff. Who? Well, I don't know if it's a he or a she. I assume it's a he. Many more Robin. Her. She has done a lot of this stuff. And like I said, it's just a lot of amazing stuff. It's good for a designer. It's good to understand. It's good for you. It's a great little book. Remember, it's Robin Williams Design Workshop. And everything I'm telling you here, of course, I'm putting it in the bottom through our YouTube link, so you can check out our YouTube page. As always, if you're not on our YouTube page, please subscribe. But everything I talk about, I put a link on the bottom of the show notes. Now, this book is an awesome book. This is a book that's so good. I didn't realize how good it was when I bought it, but this has helped me out immensely. This is Leslie's Carabanga Logo, Font, and Lettering Bible. This book is awesome. This book also will run you $32.99, but you also see what other book you see next to it? See it? In global color, yeah. So the same company made all these books. It's Peach Pit, I believe. This is from the House series. This book really taught me how to build logos. I mean, understanding what a logo is. Let me get to some good stuff. You don't just see this crappy stuff. You want to see the really, really good stuff. Making a logo, what you have to pay attention to. You know, what's this piece called? Why do you do this? And it's just, plus they also have a lot of logos in here that are just amazing to take a look at. Just amazing pieces that, you know, it's just amazing. And then it gives you, you know, designing a logo in 3 easy steps, quick and easy steps. Or quasi easy. I say quick and easy. And just, you know, it's just amazing doing designs of logos. Now people are like, I don't need a company logo. Da, da, da. Think about in your books. Think about in your books, your book logos, the design. That's a skill. You can learn that. You can hire an artist to do it too, but you can also learn that for yourself. It's actually something you can learn and develop and just get. Here's a, yeah, this is a great page. Here's a page that's full of logos. Just full of logos. The same words, just different logo versions of it. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of logos. You know? Stupid thing. Tons and tons of logos. Just, I mean, how many different logos can you put on here? It's just amazing. And then, if you want to get something, this is where it gets interesting and pretty sad at the same time, but it is what it is. Fonts. All different types of just cool fonts. There's tons of great websites to get fonts from. I think the best website in the world to get fonts from, there's really 3 of them. But the best one that I know is all free, and you can get that, since we keep this open and talk some more about this, is a website called DaFont. Let me see if it's still there. It should be DAFONT.com. DaFont.com. A lot of the fonts that I use are from DaFont.com. They always have new ones, like this new one I just saw right here, which is an awesome looking handwritten font. Ooh, I like this one a lot. It has, that is a good font. And they have a lowercase. Awesome. They have a lot of fonts that you can get for free or for relatively inexpensive. Depending on who puts them in, they might give you personal use ones. Like this one says, this font is free for personal. If you want a commercial license, contact these guys. You know, there's so many people doing free fonts. You can find a good font. This is probably the most prolific site for fonts out there in the market. I think DaFont is a great place. I've used hundreds of their fonts on stuff. Gang of 3. I know that font by heart because Gang of 3 is. I'm going to flip this around real quick. If you've ever seen any of my products, the Gang of 3 font is the same font we use for New Exodus. And that's where I found it here. It's a great Asian font. It's awesome. It's got a great look. It peels. It's like, that's what a font should be. And let me show you the font I was just looking at. See this Beyond the Mountains. I'm like, ooh, that's a font. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at that font. Look at that. See? The part of design they don't talk about. It's so simple and so sexy and can be done so easily, good or bad. So the font is one that's checking out. What is another one I can see? Hold on. Oh, hold on. Blambot. Let me go to Blambot because I know Blambot is another company that does fonts. The person who runs Blambot is actually a letterer for comics. He does professional lettering. You can see his, boom, let's see his lettering for DC Comics. Because I know he's doing Green Arrow right now. This is, boom, this is one of the new pieces. I believe this is a hand done. Yeah, this is all hand painted. So he hand drew these. All this other stuff is regular type, but he redid this purely by hand. And I think that's by hand. No, this is a hand painted one, just as it. And Nate Picos, is it pronounced his name? Nate Picos? Nate, because I know Nate. I've had the pleasure of naming one of Nate's fonts, so it's one of those. I just call him Nate because I mispronounce people's last name. But Nate works for Blambot. Come on, let's go back. And he's got tons and tons and tons of good fonts. Best of all, he has lots of fonts that are free. Let me show you. Let's go to sound effects. There should be some good ones. Armor Piercing is one I've used. See, if you see the little F here, that means free. See? Free font. F. Armor Piercing, free. I've used that one a lot. This one I've used a lot. Bada Boom. I've used Bada Boom so much it should be a crime. I've used it at work a lot. It's a love. You'll see it a lot of times too. That stuff. Some other pay fonts. This is a good pay font. It's Politically Murder, Blowhole, Chainsaw, and there's a lot of free fonts. There's some other ones I've used. Glassjaw I've used before. Inside I think I used 1 or 2 places. This Mech Effects I've seen on other people's stuff before. That's all the ones that this one. All right, let's go design. There'll be some good stuff in here. There's always good stuff in here. Let me see. Boom. As you can see these just fonting up. This is a great font if you are just crazy and want to do some cool zombie stuff. I always thought this was a really great idea. I wish more people would do this. Kind of, you make clip art into a font. Bulletproof. I've used this several times. I use this on a piece we're working on right now, actually for Pathfinder. We use this font. You know, some cute stuff. Destroy. There's some other stuff that I know I've used. I've seen this one before. This one has become very popular. Oops, sorry. This one has become very popular. And they said this. And this one, Feast of Flesh. I've used Feast of Flesh so often it should be a crime. It really should be a crime. I've used this one so much. It's a free font. It's a great horror font. I've used it on tons of things. You should pick this one up. This shouldn't even be a question. You should be using this font on anything horror you do. Let's take a look at it. We'll get a good look. And then here's the best part. He tells you all the characters in the font. They're all uppercase. There's no lowercase of this, but you can see, See, once again, lettering. See how this all goes in. See this here. All right. I'm gonna. Let me see if I can zoom in real quick. All right. Here's a little trick that I learned recently. Well, not recently. Well, a couple of years ago, but recently. See how this is done? Got a nice gradient here. It starts at the top of blue and it fades down to a lighter blue. But then around it, you see it's this little blue outline here, fades in the middle because it's coming white and it's clearing here, and then goes around the top white, and then there's a black background around it and a drop shadow. And I mean, it looks so professional. It looks like it's popping out. It's a little complex, but when you look at it, it's like, wow, that's pretty awesome. It's a cool trick you can do to make your stuff look better. It's a great trick. I use it more and more. I've used it more and more. I think it's amazing. Just think about this kind of stuff when you're doing design. Firefight, I've used this one before. Inspire Power, I've used that one before. This Let's Go, I've tried using this. I never found anything I really like. Government Agent, I've used this one so many times it's ridiculous. It should be a crime how many times I've used that one. And, Inhuman, here's a great one. Hey, if you're going to be doing, and it's free, if you're going to be doing some stuff, some science fiction stuff, here's a font you could be using. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. Here's another great font that I've seen people use. I haven't used it yet, but look at Longbow. Let's look at that Longbow real quick because you guys like fantasy. Look at this. Look at that font. Do you see look at it looks like someone drew it by hand. And boom, here's this version of it. How awesome that is. You're using the font. You should be using this font. So fonts play into it just as much as everything else. Just some great fonts in here. Oh, Newsflash, another great one. This one right here, Newsflash. Boom, I've used this one a lot. Great font. Solid kind of like newspaperish font. Good stuff here, real good stuff. And it just keeps going. I used this recently on a font I just liked it, pretty good. Potty Mouth, great one to have. It's free. Why would you not use it? It's free. Pythia. This is probably one of the most used and abused fonts. This one right here. It's probably the most used fonts in the early 3.5 days. Like everybody uses this font. Let me give you a bigger one of this one. And people are like, oh yeah, I remember. Everybody freaking use this use this font to death. And it was the font to use that everyone started with. I know Green Ronin used it on their Egyptian Israel book because I remember the font because I kept saying, "Oh my God, I know that font." So it's like I'm just like I said, I'm a true lover of font, so this isn't really a surprise. So, Revenger, another good font. Like I said, there's just. Oh, did I show you Revenger? Because I was moving so fast. This one, Revenger. There's just so many great fonts out here. It's just ridiculous. This is a great site just to go through. See, Silver Bullet, another great one. It's a little, but it's hard to read some stuff, and some stuff it's not. But it definitely for big titles. Oh yeah, you should think about this one. This has got. Look at that. Look at all those combinations. And look at the lowercase. Boom. Anytime you get a lowercase and uppercase, that's a win-win, man. That's what I'm talking about. You need to get involved in that. So this is good stuff. I'm going to give me all this good stuff. I must be crazy or something. I'm just gonna keep giving all this good stuff to you guys. Say, please, no more. We can't take any more. That's what I'm doing here. Just lots of great stuff. Oh, Warmonger, another one that's been used a lot. Whitechapel, I love this font. I haven't had a chance to use it, but I'm gonna find it for something. There's this one, and where's the other one? World at War, another great one to use. This Yankee Ghost. This font, I don't even know what I'm gonna use it for. Every time I see it, I'm like, I'm gonna use it for something. I don't know. It's got the right signature, old look. I mean, look at that. Look at this font. This is some great stuff. So yeah, definitely check out Blambot. He also does lettering himself. If you want to know custom logo design. Here's some of the custom logos we've done. Yeah, that's right. Those 3 you see right there at the bottom, those X-Men ones, those are his design. Atland, another webcomic I used to love very well. They don't do as much as they used to. I wish they would do more. It's Nate's one, that's why. Berserker's Daughter, another one. It's Nate's. It's just very busy. Reborn, Mark Millar, Greg Capullo, well-known guys. And like I said, these are the professionals. These are the top of the top in graphic design. You know, he does. Let's see if I can find some other stuff here. Some logo design, custom fonts, based on people's signatures or handwriting. Want some of Charles Schultz? Boom, there you go. And so this is a great site. Just there's a lot of great stuff here. It's just it's just tons and tons of art. Let me see if I can see strange languages real quick. I want you all to see this one. I think this is this free one. This Dark Arts. I've used this one many times on all kinds of my products. They're just great ones to have. Oh, Cthulhu fans, you might need something like this. Roswell Wreckage. Wizard Speak. Oh, look, and it's free. Jeez, I wonder if anyone's going to pick that one up. So, this is another great site. This site also... Comic Craft? Comic Craft has been around since the beginning of comic book time, 92, when they started going all digital and stuff like that. Comic Craft is a great website, but you can find a lot of just great stuff. Let's just go logo design for them. These are all logos that they've designed. I mean, look at that. Comic and the TV series. Avengers logo. I didn't know it was their design. It's one of my favorite ones, but... Look at this. I mean... Oh, Angry Birds. Didn't know they did Angry Birds logo. Did you know that? I didn't know that. Oh, you can't see it over here. Angry Birds. Oop, look at that. Just so much stuff. So much stuff. And this is what they do. This is, and then let's go lettering. Let's check out some lettering here. Boom. This is what they get paid to do. Awesome, awesome stuff. Logo design. Typography, I did logo design. Let's see. Commercial fonts. Let's see. And there's tons and tons of fonts that you probably have seen all through time and not realized they were done by this company. Where am I? If I can find it. Red Square. This is a font I have never used, but I keep saying I'm going to find some way to use this font if I can find it. Yeah, boom. The Red Square pack. This font really is... There's... let me see if I can actually... No, I want to see the actual fonts inside of them. Oh, it won't let me do it anymore. Oh, there it is. Boom. Red Star International. Maybe I'll get lucky. See, oh, there it is. Oh, go back. I just like that font. I really like that font. I don't know why I like it, but I just do. It's just some awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. Yeah, I'm just telling you, just awesome. So, boom. All right, let me flip this back to me. Boom. Get back to talking. I know it's late and I gotta get out of here. And geez, I knew it was later already. So yeah. So this logo and font design book has tons of stuff that you can just look through, and it's actually really informative for people who really want to do Illustrator with this. This is a great book for Illustrator. That's something I can tell everybody. If you're looking to seriously do graphic design, 3 programs you have to know backwards and forwards. You got to know it solid. You can't even make mistakes. Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Adobe InDesign. Those three can get you work forever. I mean, I'll be bluntly honest. I only knew when I first got into this, I was doing Quark, and I knew a little bit of Photoshop. And over time, I learned Photoshop, and I just worked it to death, and I got that. And then when Quark kind of fell out as being the program, InDesign came in. I learned InDesign, and I learned InDesign. I mean, I learned it backwards and forwards as much as I knew Quark. So that was just an awesome, awesome book for me. Oh, stupid thing. And it took me forever to get to actually learn Illustrator. I took a class on it. I took a class at Broward Community College. It was really inexpensive, couple $100, and I didn't know much about it. And I was like, okay, let me figure out how to use this thing and how to do it. And I did it, and I took it, and I was like, best money ever spent. So then I knew all three, and once I knew all three, and now they're so interconnected. You can jump from one to another, and back and forth and back and forth. It's awesome. It is awesome. It is something that is just not just smart, but it's the right thing to do. So boom. Yeah, like I said, man, those three, get those solid, you can run all day for them. I'm lucky enough. American College, yeah, it was it was definitely community college. Now it's Broward College. But like I said, man, it doesn't matter where you go. It's that the knowledge is there. Once you get that knowledge in your head, start being creative. Start thinking about how you can make stuff better. And that's what you do. I mean, look, I'm not the world's greatest designer. I know the world's greatest designer. He puts me to shame any chance he gets. I mean, Jeff Juilliard is one of the best designers I've ever met. Richard Etienne, another guy I worked with, went to art school. Awesome designer. I mean, light years ahead of me. Adrian, what is Adrian's last name? Adrian Aguirre. I don't think he's designing anymore. He got out of design. He was another guy, went to art school, light years ahead of me. And those are guys I'm a fan of. And I would see next to them, I'm like, oh, God, I think I'm looking at all my stuff that looks like garbage next to them. But those guys were just, they knew it. They understood it. They went to art school for it. And, even though I didn't go to art school for it, I mean, I learned mine on the hard streets, as they would say. I'm thankful I learned that way. Because I'm used to doing it very, very gritty. And I've got a lot of hand-on experience in designing. So things that people would easily get stuck on or they couldn't get through or they wouldn't understand, I've got a lot of experience to know how to get around that. I know how to make, oh, you don't do this, you do that. You don't do this, you do that. So that's just something I do. So that's it. Remember, graphic design and artwork are very different, but just as important. So that's something you want to look at. So I'm trying to actually get off this call because I'm getting messages that people are asking. Today's been a very busy day for the business. We've been doing some work and catching up some stuff, so I'm moving along. We just finished the second chapter for the New Exodus book, so I'm trying to get that finished up so we can move on to chapter 3 and continue on with the book and get that out sometime very, very soon. Because I know people have been waiting for their books, and I'd give them as soon as possible. We also have Crisis. We actually just sent the first round drafts back to the writer to make some art descriptions, and we're going to get that thing together, and we're going to keep going. So that's it. So today, as always, thank you everybody for watching. Remember, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, go to YouTube, push the subscribe button. We need all the subscriptions. It's really very important. It's more important than you really realize, but please take a second out, go there. Also, if you want to check for any of the books that I showed you, go to YouTube. They're going to be in the descriptions at the bottom. I'll probably have them up in about a half an hour. All right, thank you so much, and you all have a good evening, and I'll talk to you all later.